Unfiltered with Bran Otieno and Odinga'S. Unfiltered with Bran Otieno.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Unfiltered here on the KTN News YouTube channel. My name is Bran Otieno. I write for the politics desk at the Standard newspaper. I'll be hosting this show alongside
Odinga'S.
So this is Unfiltered. It's a current affairs podcast that brings you unbiased analysis of the news, and we discuss many issues. Today we are privileged to host a lawyer, Mr. Paul Mwangi, more famous for his association with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Mr. Mwangi here is also an author, but I'll let him tell us that himself.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am a practicing lawyer. Been practicing from 1992, so I think that is now 30s. It is.
Gashani wasn't born then.
1992. I think I was born, but I didn't know my name then. The person who was not born at that time is Brian.
So 2 years.
That's 2 years.
Practicing. I'm also an author. Authored a book another 20 years ago called The Black Bar. The Black Bar was looking at the development of the legal profession in Kenya through the political events that were taking place, and also looks at the corruption that has bedeviled the profession and the judiciary. Yes, and then recently I've also authored a book called short stories, Fox Tales, called Legends of Azania. I'm trying to retell stories, African stories, in a way that they can interest a younger generation. So that's.
So, Mr. Mwangi, you've spoken about your book, The Black Bar. I've seen it online. It's readily available online. Is that by design?
Well, initially I had availed it online, and then many people wanted to have a hard copy version, so I did a hard copy version.
The online version is free of charge.
I have discontinued.
No, you've not. I downloaded it this morning.
This morning
from my website.
No, I think it's something called The Verdict.
Yes, that is my website.
That's your website.
That is my website. I run, but I'm happy to learn because I'm good.
you are going to put measures to
I'm going to put measures
because creatives must earn, for their work. So, Mr. Mwangi, today we've invited you here to discuss a matter that I believe is close to your friend's heart. The issue of compensating, victims of police brutality. Sometime in 2023, you wrote a letter to the ICC asking them to investigate cases of brutality. 2 years later, things don't seem to have changed.
First, I think I need to explain where the issue of compensation of victims came from. Previously we have been in the streets protesting, and one of the largest protests we had was when we were trying to reform IBC. That I think 2014, Hassan must go protests. But throughout our protests, what we would encounter were injuries. So most of the time you would end up with very many of the participants in hospital injured, and within a week or two everybody would be out and the issue would be resolved. From 2017 we started witnessing the killings. This is when we went to court and overturned the election. We then were told to go for the election in October, and we, for many reasons, we came to we convinced the candidate that he should not participate in the rerun. And there were protests that started then. The government, the Uhuru Kenyatta, who was the candidate then for Jubilee, they had been told that for there to be an effective rerun, they had to ensure that there was voting all over the country.
Yes.
So the police came out to deal with protesters, because the fear then was that protesters were going to interfere with the voting.
Yes.
And then it got very violent. So by the time we were through with the protests, that is in October, the 2020, what was 2027? No, sorry, 2017.
17, yeah.
Yes.
2017. By the time we were through with those protests, we had a lot of deaths in Migori, Homa Bay, and Kisumu. You remember those were the times when we now had the baby pedo case. And then we had a lot of killings in Mathare and Kibera. Kibera, the police literally moved into people's houses at night, dragged them out. Many were shot. And so after that whole incident, we now knew that we had gone into a new phase. And that was the phase of killings. And that then replayed itself when we had the swearing in. And there was this journey that Raila took from the airport to Uhuru Park.
Baba while you were away.
Yes, and no, the second Baba when you were away.
The second.
Baba you were away two. Because they had been the other one in 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
And the police had sworn, I think that time it was Japhet Kome also still, had sworn that we are not going to have a
as the
rally.
Nairobi
Yes.
regional commander.
And they swore we are not going to hold a rally at Uhuru Park. Between that motorcade moving from the airport to Uhuru Park, our estimate was that 30 people were shot dead by police. And we realized that we had entered a new phase where police now deliberately shoot to kill. Then we now came to 2023 when we now, because after that then we went into the handshake and things cooled down. So we didn't see another side of the police, but even that time we started now asking the government that we need to put a closure into these deaths, because after all those riots, people then come and they come and cry about their breadwinners. What had happened, when many want to be compensated for those deaths. Now, in 2023, then we came to the Finance Act riots, protests. And then now it replayed again. And then we had 75 people killed all over the country for the 2023 protests. That's when we realized that if we don't do something to permanently bring this to a close, this is going to be an accepted modus operandi for the police. So the two things we did, so we came together. I, as the legal person, I always worked with a gentleman called Keta Onyango. Keta Onyango is like was a field commander, so to speak. Every time we have a protest, he's a field commander. So he's the one who knows who's out there, where they came from, and when people are shot, admitted, they all come to him. So we came together with him and decided we are going to sell a solution to the party leader. So we went to Raila with Keta and we said we need to file suits against these deaths, because we will never stop going to the streets so long as we're in the opposition, and we cannot now allow a situation to establish itself that every time we go to the streets we are going to get shot. So we did two things. We filed the suit at ICC against the police and against Kome, and then we filed a lawsuit again against the police and against Kome. And that is now what has been on the table since. But that's the background of how this whole thing started.
And now that the president decided to appoint Professor of Law Makau Mutua to lead this process of the compensation framework, and some of the critics of the issue of domiciling the compensation framework in the executive says that this thing is going to embolden the police, because the president and the executive, they are the aggressors, and then they are now wondering what about justice? Because they believe compensation without justice is a recipe for state impunity. They believe that other legal basis, like use of the Victims Protection Act of 2014 and using the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, that those are the institutions that are supposed to lead this compensation framework. From where you sit, do you believe these people are raising legitimate questions in regard to who should lead this process, given that the president has in the past given the shoot on the leg orders, and the CS for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, has also issued shoot to kill orders?
I think the first thing we need to understand is, as I've said, this comes, and this push has come from afar.
Yeah.
Because our push for stopping this, that have arisen from some of these deaths.
Yes.
And the families that are dealing with those deaths deal with those financial issues as a separate item. So when you're dealing with them, you must first remember that there is somebody who genuinely needs to be compensated. And you cannot tell him, no, first don't take that money, let us first demand an apology. If you look at one of the most recent people who was killed by police, Ojwang,
Yes.
left behind a widow, left behind a child. Are you going to go and tell Nani's widow, no, first, she has a problem, she has a son to take care of. If she can access money to deal with that issue, to deal with the fact that she has lost a breadwinner, I think people should allow her to do that. This other conversation we can have without having to involve her in it. But we cannot go and tell her that...
Yes.
You can't seek the money.
Yes.
How she
going
an
to bring
apology.
up?
Yeah.
Yes. So Wakili, what about the issue of, we talked about justice, compensation and justice. And some people feel that if we encourage compensation as a discussion without talking about justice, people will say that this thing will encourage that life can be taken so easily without a consequence. So as the compensation debate continues, what about prosecution of police officers accused in murder?
That's what I'm saying, that let's put that conversation and let's start having that conversation. But let's not say that because we haven't started the second conversation, we are going to delegitimize the first one. Let's also, these victims, take what they can take, because they have real issues.
Whatever is available, they first of all take it.
Because they have real issues at home. If you lost your breadwinner,
yes,
I don't want to sit down and wait until you guys can go and do your thing, or will they apologize, will they not apologize? My children are growing up. They're not going to school because my husband died. That lady will have real issues. And there is also no reason why we cannot have those two conversations. But because the second conversation brings up very many other things. For instance, we talk about where do we domicile it. So it means we must start with some law. We've had TJRC. We've been down this road, remember, first.
Yeah. The Truth, Justice and the Constitution Commission.
Yes. And that was done. Well, so far, nothing has ever been done. Everybody has been silent about it. In a way, we are waking up late in the day to talk about the fact that there is no justice. Nobody has been putting pressure on successive governments to implement TJRC. I wish some of the demonstrations we are having are about implementing TJRC.
What is the sense that you get from the president, when you pressure him about pushing this compensation framework and whatnot? Do you get the sense that the president is now ready to, chart a new path?
Again, my view of the situation is very different. And my view is that police brutality is police brutality. And it will happen regardless of who's president. The police in South Africa are violent regardless of who's president. They've been violent under de Klerk, they were violent under Mandela, they were violent under Oliver Thabo Mbeki. They're violent today. The police in America are violent. They were violent even when Obama was president. They were killing Africans. It never stopped. So we must find a way of dealing with the issue of police brutality with the knowledge that it is an issue in itself and not about the political situation we are in. And that if we don't, the next president will come and will have the same
Yes.
problem with the police.
But Wakili, when President Ruto was conducting his campaigns, he was really concerned about the police brutality and the extrajudicial cases of extrajudicial killings. And he promised that if elected, one of the things he would do is to disband a killer squad within the police. But we now hear of another killer squad that is hunting the people doing silhouettes and cartoons about the president. We are also seeing the president calling the protesters terrorists and coup planners. We are also seeing the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, issuing shoot to kill orders. So how do we alienate or draw a line when we talk about police brutality and the state? Because the buck stops with who? It stops with the president. So when the president calls those people, the protesters, terrorists, don't you think he's encouraging the police, and he stands and says, shoot them on the legs? Wakili, don't you think?
I'm not going to hold brief of the political talk that has been there.
Yes.
I cannot comment on that. I think there are other people who would come to explain that.
No.
I am saying, one of the very, very fast, you've been on my website at The Verdict. You will see when I was editor, the managing editor of the Nairobi Law Monthly, one of the, actually first when I was assistant managing editor of a newsletter called The Jurist. It's a newsletter of the International Commission of Jurists, which had helped them set up. And we are talking about 1991, 91, 92. And I did a research on police brutality, which I published then. When I became a managing editor of the Nairobi Law Monthly, we dedicated an issue to the issue of police brutality, a full issue. And again, I published my research there. So my knowledge of police brutality is that it's not about regimes. It's a problem in itself. So that's what I said. I don't have the same view of very many people, where you think that that you're going to deal with police by dealing with politicians. You can have very good politicians, you still have very bad police. So it's a question of, are we being realistic about our police brutality problem? Because I'm telling you, I was writing about it in 1992.
When Brian was not born.
When Brian was not born, as we had agreed.
How do you know I was?
I wrote about police brutality 32 years ago, and I can tell you nothing has changed.
So it's not about the politicians, it's about the conduct of the police.
Of course, the politicians don't make it any better. But it's not that they are the ones who create it. We have been creating this police force, and we've never really sat down to deal with that issue. It's always about, we always assume that once you change the political system, you're going to change the police. You know, the police are a power in themselves. Political systems rely on police. Who is guarding the president now? Who is guarding all these ministers?
Police.
It's the police. Who's guarding you? It's the police. So the police are a definite item in our lives that sometimes we deal with like a by the way, not understanding that as an institution, they are very deeply embedded in your comforts, in your freedoms, regardless of the political system.
And how do we deal with them? How do we, make sure that we have proper reform in that sector?
We've tried to, because there have been very, very many ways. There was Ransley, there was Maraga the other day. There's always been. But my thinking and my opinion is that we deal with the police reform issue as if it's a structural issue. But I tend to think of it as a governance issue, in the sense, we agreed on how the police should police us, because that's a discussion we never have. are we agreed how I should get arrested? Have we told the police how we want to get arrested? Have we told the police that when we are arrested, this is the way we want you to deal with us? Because then we start telling the police how we want them to police us, because we must be policed. The society must be policed. The operational procedures that the police are using today, who wrote them? Well, have they ever been revised? Have they ever been democratized and constitutionalized? They are still what the police did under colonialism. So it is the colonialists who told people, but then when you arrest people, this is what you do. And if he brings Kinyorito, you slap him. Have we sat down and told the police, by the way, if you slap someone, it's a criminal offense? And he knows it. And he knows that if you go to the police station and say, he slapped me, immediately it enters the OB. Because that will sort out a lot of things. And to me, that is one of the very important conversations that we need to sit down and agree how, as a society, we want to be policed. When we and I said, for instance, if you go out on a demonstration, it's very possible that when you go out on a demonstration, you can get to a position where police will open fire. That would happen. They are police, and there can be crime, and there can be situations that will call for the opening of fire. The question will be, when we go back to the station, where is the process of accountability? And that's why I say, does the OCS know that OCS already knows who they gave the gun? Because all those things that at the armory, this gun is with so and so, and this gun is. Do we check whether a gun has opened fire? And once we know that this gun opened fire, are there procedures that say what you do with this gun? Do you just put it back in the armory?
Yes, but Wakire, during the inquest, this guy called Zaya Murangiri, I think what you are talking about, I think those are issues that are already addressed based on, if you listen carefully to the inquest, the people giving their input on who killed Rex Masai, we were told that is in terms of the inventory, somebody must sign, then this gun was given to who, was it returned? And you also talk about police reforms.
Okay, was it taken for ballistics?
Those questions on procedure. I believe one of the officers from, I believe an OCS, gave his evidence and explained all that. So
I'm not sure whether because and that's why I'm bringing it up. Because if when we go to deal with protests, I know that if I use this gun and I open fire,
you must report.
No, that bullet I have shot
will
be traced to me.
Yes. And, because of the gun.
And what happens in Kenya, even media
that's
reports.
This is what they can shoot you. It's because there is no system of accountability.
And media reports have also shown that, sometimes they don't use those guns that they were deployed with.
Yes, so we need to know also that there were strange guns. If there are straight guns, again, now let's even come to the issue of command responsibility. The moment it is known that there were straight guns, did the OCS know? Does the OCS have a report after every deployment like that? Does he have a full report on what went on? If you were there and you saw an illegality being committed, you saw so and so using a gun that you know very well, it's not a standard issue that we got from the station. What responsibility do you hold?
Because most of the time you'll hear them say that.
They know.
That guy was shot by other people, not the police.
Yes,
because they know that it was.
Because your fellow policeman will not report you. But now, if your fellow policeman knows that if I don't report you, I am also as guilty for that matter. You start having changes.
Sure, I think we have exhausted that issue.
I think we need to move on to the next. And you keep bringing up my age, that I wasn't born in 92. So by 92, you had started writing. Had you met Raila by 92?
No. We met him when Miguna was let go. That was 2011. I was then running, participating as one of the people in there was a show that was running in Citizen. It was called The Road to State House.
Yeah, I remember.
We were running it with the person who was a host was Julie Gishuru, and we had me, we had David McCarty. There had been another gentleman who was there before. Then he left. And
so that's how you got to meet Raila.
No, so I was one of the leading political analysts then, and then they started looking for. Then they started looking for somebody to replace a lawyer who knew the constitution and who had a good mix of law and politics.
That was 2011.
Yes, and so that's how my name came on the table.
So you have a good mix of politics. I'm sure you're very close to Raila. Do you think he's the kind of person that would betray his allies from your associations with him? Again,
in politics, betrayal can assume very many descriptions, or very many things can appear as if they are betrayal. So you really need to explain in what circumstance.
In the current circumstances that the former prime minister and the president seem to be causing up much deeper than they were last year, and people like Kalonzo Musyoka, the former allies in the Azimio coalition, somewhat feel slighted. Do you think they're justified to feel sort of betrayed?
I don't think he has done anything against anyone that would say that he's betrayed them. His view, he has his own view on people, and don't forget, Raila knows almost everybody in a totally different way than you know them. You know what you read. You know what you read in the video, what you hear your sources as a journalist tell you. He knows everybody, and so first and foremost, he could end up making totally different decisions because of what information or knowledge he has. But he is also not the kind of person who invests in hatred and say we have to continue with this hate until the next election so that we galvanize people. He's also not that kind of politician.
Some say that Raila has never wanted to be the president, and they give scenarios. 2007, we had one of the guests here saying that had Raila wanted to be the president, he would have maintained that he had won the 2007 general election. Others say that he has been wanting power without accountability. And that's why he has always wanted to get to power through the back door. The handshakes from 1998, you remember the cooperation agreement, and then now the grand coalition of 2000 after the post-election violence of 2007. Then we had the handshake of him and Uhuru Kenyatta, and now the broad-based. And as a close ally of Raila, what do you make of those remarks?
I've now been involved in 3 presidential elections from 2013, 2017, 2022. And, you need to be there to see what it means to unseat a government. And people have very romantic views about... People have very romantic views about what like in the last one, we were there, we were in Bomas, we were upbeat. We knew we had our fingers, we had
and even rolled the carpet, the red carpet.
Anyway, there are many things you can't, but then we came one day. And first, you are inside there, and then you're getting calls from your people.
Yes.
Hey, tumefungiwa hapa nje. Like how? Because everybody knew that you guys have taken this thing. Everybody, even in there.
There was even jubilation. And
No, even the way everybody is dealing, even the people from IBC, the way
Yes.
they're dealing with you, they know. What happened that night, I don't know. But we woke up the next morning to a totally different Kenya.
that was 2022.
No, this one that we just did.
How different was it?
There are many stories. So there are people who have very, very romantic views about how Raila does not want power. He was not serious. Come even to 2007. What was going to happen if in 2007 he had not agreed to what they were being? First, the whole international community came up with a solution. And I think at some point, they were not pleading with people. You know, Kenya is way too important for too many people. And they say that when both Kibaki and Raila were now became too stubborn, they would not agree. They say that's when Kikwete was sent. And they were not pleading with them. Because Kenya, you see, like, we have this, as we always see Kenya and we see how everything is finished, this country is finished. You know, even as though we've been complaining how this country is finished, the UN is relocating here.
As you complain.
What are they saying that we don't see? And they're bringing in how many people? 4,000. You know, this city is just going to change. And all of a sudden you're in an international city. With an influx, those are 4,000 employees. Each of them will possibly come with family, with every. You're talking about an influx of 10,000 foreigners. I don't even know where they're going to live. The point is that if you're talking about 2007,
Yes.
as we were so involved in our small politics, I'll be president, I'll be whatever. Those big boys out there really don't care who is going to be president. They just want a peaceful country.
So they were not pleading. What were they doing?
You know, when you're being talked to by the superpowers, I don't think those are conversations that are nice.
So did that happen again last year when Raila decided to join Ruto? No,
I think again, first I said, Raila said, look, we are going to work together. And I told you, Raila knows people in a way we don't know them. For instance, you would think that he just met Ruto the other day. He has long political relationships with all these people.
Yes.
And he says, look here, we cannot spend the next 4 years just agitating so that we go to the next election. What will happen in the meantime? There are people's lives at stake. So are you going to keep telling people, no, you know, in Kenya we have this, I keep calling it the hopeless search for a messiah. Yet after every election, time runs. Things are done or not done. So, but we, as a country, sometimes we kind of are ready to stop, and we are not going to move until this Messiah comes. There's no Messiah that's coming.
But Wakili...
So that's what I'm saying. He was being pragmatic.
Yes.
And saying, okay, fine, we will meet in the next election. In the meantime, I think it is easier to get these things done by talking to you than continuing to have all this acrimonious engagement. No. Because political acrimonious engagement also hardens. The other person does not become easier to deal with, does not give what he needs to give.
Yes.
Because of how hard you came on it. Sometimes it is easier to talk to them.
Because of Raila's association, and probably given the facts that you have given, he's a pragmatic leader who wants the country to settle so that even the government can work. Due to his association, there is a feeling that he has lost popularity and influence. In fact, Barack Muruka described the whole situation. He said that Ruto has won over Raila Odinga, and he continued to say that who is an octogenarian that is sinking into dotage and whose wide political influence is more to be remembered than to be anticipated. That is Moroka's view of Raila Odinga because of his association with President William Ruto. What do you think?
Okay, first, I have no doubt that Raila, legacy are not written. Once legacy is not written by those people who are there with you, your legacy is written much later. It is way after Kibaki has left that we all look back and start realizing, hey, but that way later,
yes,
that people start looking back and say and starting to understand you. When the passions are down, many people who praise Kibaki now did not even want to see him by the time he was leaving. In fact, even when Kibaki was leaving power, that was 2012, yeah.
2012, yeah.
Even within Mount Kenya region, there are very many people who didn't want to see him. It is much later that people have cooled down and made assessments. So I would not be worried, and I am very sure that Raila himself is not worried that there are people currently who have negative opinions about what he does. Because those are not the people who write his legacy. His legacy will be written much later.
By people close to him.
Yeah.
No, they're not the ones. By totally different people. Those are the ones who write the legacy.
Yes.
Or talk about his legacy. Secondly, you cannot be what people want you to be. What you've read, the writer of what you've read is describing what the writer he would want. Raila is going to be the writer he wants, and that's his decision. And so if he thinks that he is not that bothered about being populist and that he is going to do something because he thinks the right thing to do, he's going to be that Raila. And you cannot come later and fault him because he's not being the Raila you wanted him to be. I think you have to grant him the right to be the person he wants to be.
Yes.
How that will play out eventually in life, in his legacy, again, you can just have an opinion about it. Later on, people will determine whether that was a nice thing.
Do you think
you might be surprised?
Do you think his heart lies with the people?
Yeah.
Do you think Raila's heart lies with the people?
I know he will never betray people. Yes.
But Gen Zs, when they protested about the finance bill and the high cost of living, people say that Raila reaped from where he had not sowed. He just joined government and gave his experts to the administration.
I'll say two things. First, we started the finance bill riots.
There was a new?
Yes, in 2023. That's how we got 75 people dead. It was about the finance bill.
2023?
Yes.
Not about the looking at the systems.
No.
Servers,
it was very
high cost of
specific.
living. Was it about finance?
Yes, and that's when it was passed by force.
Not 2024. Finance
No,
bill
2023.
But many people believe that Raila was just riding on, the cost of living, the anger over the cost of
75
living.
people died fighting the finance bill 2023.
Over the cost of living. But Raila was
That is the one thing that people conveniently fail to mention.
But Raila seemed more interested in pushing his grievances, from opening the servers, electoral reforms. And
No. I doubt that was not the conversation in 2023.
Because
that was not the conversation.
Because they went into NADCO.
Yeah,
and
the
NADCO bathed
even the issue of high cost of living was actually
it was shelved.
It was shelved. They only discussed about entrenching the National Government Constituency Development Fund,
which is our next topic.
Is our next topic. They also talked about establishment of the offices of the Office of Opposition and Prime Minister. If you look at the issues that were passed by the NADCO, or the issues that were being discussed by the NADCO.
Also, they're relooking at the servers.
I think we are mixing. Either way, whatever you say. But we first agree that, the riots against the finance bill 2023 were conducted by Azimio, and that we lost 75 people.
But it was passed.
It was passed by force. By the time we come, so number one, this whole idea that Raila hijacked the Nini, that's Nini. But number two, again, they said he's not you and me, because you and as we can go home. There are people who are leaders. They are leaders because they have always been leaders, and that's what they do in this society. Okay, let's go to the uncomfortable topic of the betrayal. So where we were now 2022, where people are saying push this government resigns. Then the next question, then what happens? Then it says, okay, Ruto will resign. What does the constitution say?
Gachagua takes over.
Gachagua takes over. Then people say, no, we can't allow that. Both of them have to go. Okay, fine. So then what happens? Wetangula takes over. He takes over for what?
90 days?
60 days.
60 days, sorry.
Within that time, you want to have an election. Can you? No, you had no IBC.
Oh, okay. It had not been constituted then.
Yeah, totally. So we can't go that route. So then people say, no, we'll call in the UN.
Transition Council or something?
Yes. What you have just said is we'll step out of our constitution. The day you step out of that constitution, who says you step out to go in your direction? The moment you're out, then it's up in the air.
So this is 2024, last year.
Yes, so we are saying it's up in the air. You're saying, those who are saying let's step out of the constitution are saying let's out of the constitution because you believe that we will step out of the constitution and go your way. The moment you step out of the constitution,
it's not given.
No, I might not agree with you. Who said I agree with you? Me, I have my different whatever. Once we step out of the constitution, it means there are no counties, there are no constituents, there's nothing.
But Raila,
so who says we are going to come back together the way we were in that constitution?
But Raila had also made those Ruto must go calls.
Remarks.
No, yes, but just a minute. I'm saying let's deal now where we are. You know, again, don't.
Is it wrong for the Gen Z?
No, let's first deal. Let's first deal with the issue that you have betrayed because we have said that the situation we are in, we are not going to end up in a situation where you have to step out of the constitution. I hold the. But I have not had anything that's convincing to me that tells me that we should have not stuck with the status quo. We should have gone into this direction. I've not had a solution that you can buy or I can buy as to where we were to go after that.
Fair enough.
That's a good.
So to his defense, he says no. In his estimation of the situation we are with, first and foremost, let's first have a government. Let's not step out of this constitution.
Okay.
That's
people. So if you say if you insist on the betrayal, then you are literally saying that you are one of those who believes that we should have stepped out of our constitution,
using the extra constitutional means,
and use extra constitutional means. And I'm saying the day you go extra constitutional,
then we lose it as a country.
No, because it doesn't.
There's a risk. There's a risk that you could lose it.
Yeah.
And now, even the reason why then he kept mentioning about the military is because people think, those who are saying that, expect that those people out there in the barracks with guns are simply going to continue sitting there the way they are sitting now, and what you play out, your extra constitutional means on the streets.
Yeah.
First order of any country, of any society, is you establish security. They will be out of those barracks faster than you have seen.
Okay, Wakili, you have gone to court because of this issue of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. And one of the MPs, who is an ally of Raila Odinga again, is one of the people who sponsored the motion to entrench the NGCDF to the Constitution. What is happening? Are you guys trying to use this entrenchment of CDF to force a referendum, or what's going on?
No, the issue of the referendum, and that is my legal opinion from me, and that is why I am the one who went to court, is that first, I am convinced that CDF after the new constitution should not apply. And that the reason why we came up with CDF in the first place was we were trying to address the political patronage that was there in the sharing of resources.
Yes.
And people had gone through the position where the Moi regime allocated all resources from State House. Then he's the one who decided, you get a road, don't you get a road, don't whatever. And it's not even by mistake that the person who conceptualized the idea was it from Laikipia?
Yeah, from Laikipia, a member for Laikipia,
Yes.
I think East.
Because one of the areas,
2004, 2002, right?
yes, one of the areas that kept complaining about this political patronage in sharing of resources was Mount Kenya, because they had rejected Moi, and Moi had in turn denied them any resources. And they were saying, at least let's share this.
Yeah.
Even as you go around playing with the rest of the resources, as people have gotten something. Then I am able to do some basic things. I can repair a classroom, but at least you can't deny me resources to the point of my destitution. So that's how then CDF came in.
Yes.
Now we then come up with a new constitution that deals with that inequality in the sharing of funds.
Yeah, devolution.
Yes, we come with devolution. In fact, even when we start, even before we come to devolving of funds, we have the Commission for Revenue Allocation. We have so many mechanisms that are put in place to try to deal with the inequity in the sharing of resources. Now, within that whole spectrum, CDF then ceases to have any relevance. That's number one. But secondly, we now then also have MPs who, like, how do you decide who is the best MP in Kenya today? You go and look at the use of CDF. You don't look at how
Legislation.
the legislation.
Yes.
You don't look at their participation in parliament. You don't look at how many questions they asked to keep the government accountable, which is the essence
Yeah.
of their existence. We look at how they did an executive function. So this CDF is denying the people of Kenya the real work that MPs should be doing, the real mandate they should be executing.
So that CDF has already, the Constitution Amendment Bill has already been passed by the National Assembly. It's at the Senate.
Overwhelmingly.
Yeah, they got the 2/3. Are you afraid that Bunge might end up evading a referendum that should ordinarily follow such an amendment?
No, they cannot evade it because they can't be the ones to determine how we will be governed. In the sense, we made it very clear in the Constitution how we want to devolve power. We made it very clear in the Constitution where executive functions are going to be held. So we said that executive authority is delegated at the national level and at the county level. Now they have conceptualized the constituency as a place where you can delegate executive authority. The constituency is an electoral unit.
Yes.
It is created for the sole purpose under the Constitution of being an electoral unit. If you're going to use it as a basis of the execution of the carrying out of executive mandate, then you must come and redelegate executive functions, because Article 1 is very clear that the Constitution is nowhere near. Does not feature in the delegation of sovereignty of executive sovereignty. It only features in legislative sovereignty.
So you believe that this will also require an amendment of Article 1?
No, it affects Article 1.
It affects.
And therefore, we get to have the final say. They are the interested ones. They are the ones voting in money for them. They are saying they're voting it for us. No, they're voting it money for them. and therefore, they must ask us whether we are okay with that.
Now, the issue of the NGCDF was among the issues that were agreed by the National Dialogue Committee, the NADCO team, where you had your representatives. In fact, Kalonzo Musyoka, who co-chaired the...
Not me.
I mean the Azimio.
Your associates.
Your associates then would say that Kalonzo Musyoka was elected by your client, Raila Odinga, to co-chair the process of the National Dialogue Committee. And among the issues that were agreed were entrenchment of the CDF into the Constitution. And the NADCO, some of the proponents of the NADCO report wanted it to be implemented without going to the referendum. Raila Odinga has also been on record opposing the NGCDF, but his team in the NADCO agreed to it. So where is the lie?
Why is there a lie?
Yeah, because Raila Odinga, through his representatives in the NADCO team, agrees to the entrenchment of NCDF into the Constitution. And then
It comes out.
I would put it this way,
Yes.
that people around Raila have different opinions about this issue. Those who went to NADCO are of the opinion that it's a good thing and they wanted it entrenched. Some of us who are not in NADCO do not believe that it should be entrenched. I think what he has done well is that he's kept away from it.
but didn't he append his signature in the NADCO?
But he
No, I'm
wants,
saying in this dispute that is there now, he's kept away from it. So
but he wants the NADCO reports implemented
Yeah.
as is.
yes, and I am of a different opinion because I believe NADCO report, even if it's going to be implemented, must leave out CDF. And therefore, I have gone to court. and he respects my different constitutional view about this. But where does the final decision lie? It lies in court. And that's why I say he lets it go to court. Let the court decide whether you can have CDF or you cannot have CDF. If you can have CDF, then implement it.
Okay.
If you cannot have CDF, then... But he's not come to me and told me, you are going against me because I want it implemented. No. I tell you what I'm saying. I think this thing is wrong.
Listening to Raila, it's as though he wants it scrapped, isn't it?
Or the money is given to the county
To the
governments.
counties.
He has said that, yes, that the money should go to the counties.
So he has failed. Has he failed to persuade the Otiende Amolos who want CDF to be
I don't
entrenched?
know. I think it would be too speculative. I think it would be too speculative. Maybe somebody needs to get more information about that.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. The MPs have been asking,
Yes.
do you think that a referendum will fail? A referendum to entrench the CDF will fail?
Well, MPs, most of the MPs I talked to saying that this thing is very popular on the ground. I personally don't think so.
Why?
I personally do not think so. I don't think that the people in the constituency have all commonly felt their lives uplifted of the CDF. And that's what I'm saying, that CDF had its time and it played its role.
When we did not have the new
When you
constitution.
do not have the new constitution. Now, people are getting billions of shillings through counties, and you keep wanting to say that CDF is very popular because you bring people 100 million. 30% of which is lost into procurements, into everything. How much money it really ends up, and then you go and build one school in the whole constituency. Go to Tarakanidi now and tell them how popular CDF is because you saw
Yes,
the schools.
we saw the schools. There are no classes in the county.
And CDF cannot sort that.
Right. And you argued in the BBI case. I just want you to jog my memory. I don't remember it quite well. Do you think it's possible for Kenyans to go to a referendum and pass a constitutional amendment that is then declared unconstitutional?
No, sovereignty rests with the people. If you go for a referendum, whatever people decide, that is the law.
Okay.
A lot to talk about. It's been a very healthy discussion.
Very healthy indeed. We have actually done over 1 hour, and we normally only do just an hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be sure to call you next time so that you can give us more insights on Raila. He's a man many people want to know about.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that
He can speak.
there is a lot that goes into people's legacies. And yes, every time I receive that a lot, people saying, no, tell Raila his legacy is going to go down. And I always tell people, you know, you're not the one who's going to write Raila's legacy. You are not. So you are just going to have opinions.
Yes.
Legacies are written much later, many times, even sometimes by even people who really never knew you. Those are the people who, because as we are now dealing with the frustrations about irrelevant things, with the passage of time, people will focus on the important issues. And at that time is when they will come to the decision whether what you did was right or wrong.
Yeah.
So you might express an opinion because you don't. We are in politics. Sometimes you don't like a guy because you don't like a guy. You're not going to give that guy the benefit of a legacy. 20 years from today, 30 years from today, somebody is going to look much more dispassionately at what was happening in the country, and you will be surprised how you can end up with a totally. And that's what we're having with Kibaki today. The last time there were people who were still bitter about 2007 with Kibaki. When did the last time you had 2007 mentioned?
They really mention.
People really mention
They remember
2007.
the economy.
Yes, people now. That's what a legacy is.
Yes.
So this whatever decisions Raila made last year, whatever decisions making now, and people want to threaten him and say, "Oh, you're killing your legacy." That his legacy is going to be will be written many other years from today, and not by the people who are criticizing now or even praising him. None of them will write his legacy.
Wakili, I'm sure you'll be writing a book. How many chapters will you write about Raila?
You know, I can say that my working with him has been, for me, I think the best professional experience I've had. Largely because he has allowed me to think, imagine, be myself, do what I do best. He doesn't control it. That he asks for an opinion, he will allow you. If he doesn't agree with your opinion, he'll tell you he doesn't agree with your opinion. If he's not going to follow your direction, he'll tell you he's not going to follow your direction. But he will always allow you to think as freely as you want. And whatever action you want to take, he will not interfere. They come and say, by the way, let me inform you, I'm filing a suit about CDF. He will not interfere. When we started this compensation thing, I told you we went to him with the Keta Onyango. And he said we have to do something. If you look at I will send you the petition, because the petition is based on affidavits of Keta Onyango and Raila Odinga. And we told him, there you must put your signature into this claim. And he's the main, Raila's petition. Affidavit was the supporting affidavit of the petition when we went to claim for compensation in 2023. And throughout that time, we keep telling him that you cannot forget our victim. You must stand up. And he's carried that through. So that's why I said that for me, my views about what we are going through now are very, very different, because these things come a totally different history than people are appreciating.
So before Gashani wraps it up, there's a question I feel I must ask you. When Raila came back from Addis and met the president in Mombasa, there were 2 documents on the table. Was that the MOU?
No.
But it's something you had written.
No. It had absolutely nothing.
Bwana Gashane.
You know, my problem is I was there also in a professional capacity. So
But you saw something that looked like a name of you.
that's all. I am bound to my silence.
Well, we have had a very interesting, candid and robust discussion with Wakili Paul Mwangi. I'm Dongo Gashane. I was hosting the show alongside Brian Otieno. Let's meet Thursday next week.
Unfiltered with Brian Otieno and Dongo Gashane.